case of Marley Graham is not an isolated event. All too often we have young people who are shot down by police in the city of New York and in the surrounding areas, and the cops get off scot-free without even having to be charged with having committed a heinous crime, which is murder. The young person, Marley Graham, Kimani Gray, and all the other cases, Sean Bell and Chantel Davis, these were cases of people who were being profiled. And in the city of New York, we have, the stop and frisk ordinance, which allows police to profile people. And the majority of people who are stopped and frisked are people of color, to the tune of hundreds of thousands every year. This is part and parcel of a system that disproportionately impoverishes people of color, that provides inadequate housing, lack of access to health care, and a system that allows for a high unemployment rate in communities of color. So we are here not to just address the situation of police brutality and stop and frisk in the city of New York and the surrounding areas, but also systemic racism that exists within this country. We connect this to the Islamophobia and attacks against Muslim people throughout the city of New York. We connect this to immigrant rights, attacks against immigrants and anti-immigrant legislation in New York and the surrounding areas and around the country, and also the attacks against our LGBT people in the city of New York and around the country. There was just a trans person who was murdered in Harlem a few days ago. And so this is part and parcel of a system that victimizes people of color on a daily basis. So this march is part of a new wave of organizing that connects all these different struggles in these different communities to organize in our interest, to fight back in our interest, and develop militant strategies and tactics so that we can make sure that justice is won in these cases. Justice is won for the Graham, for Marley's parents and his family, and justice is won for the family of Chantel Davis and Kimani Gray and all the other cases that have happened throughout the years.
They are just saying that because of our color, because of who we are, and because of our communities, we are a threat and we have to be controlled. We have to be boxed, we have to be stopped, we have to be frisked. When you see that, my name is Ravi Ragman from the New Sanctuary Coalition. We work in communities, we work with immigrants who are facing deportation. So not only do we have people who are also threatened because of their color, because of who they are, they're also threatened by deportation when they interact with law enforcement. So they're stopped and frisked, arrested, their fingerprints are taken, then it goes into a database and they are held for Immigration and Customs Enforcement to face deportation. Thousands of families are being broken up because of this. In 1 year, last year alone, we have had 400,000 people deported.
Marley Graham here in New York City was murdered February 2nd of 2012. After that, he had another 27 questionable murders by the NYPD. So we have to make sure that we keep these issues alive in people's minds. And that's why we do these rallies. That's why we run around saying no justice, no peace. Because basically when we say no justice, no peace, we mean that if there ain't no justice, these families that are facing these consequences don't have no peace. And they'll never have peace because there's never going to be any justice for them. So we want to continue to fight forward together. And dealing with the Trayvon Martin issue, we have to realize that this is something that is a national problem. Racial profiling, our kids constantly being targeted.
Desde diálogo para acá han sido bastantes los jóvenes afroamericanos e hispanos que han sido asesinados y todavía muchos de esos casos han quedado ocultos y por lo tanto estamos invitando para que en el día de mañana se den cita en la 138 y Alexander Avenue. No hay forma de que usted no llegue a este lugar. La guagua 15 le deja allí, el tren 4 y 5 lo deja en la 138 y Grand Concord. Estamos hablando de 3 bloques de donde se va a llevar esta manifestación mañana. La guagua 1 y la 12 de Grand Concord lo deja en tercera y la 138 está a un bloque de aquel lugar. Por lo tanto, no se olvide que mañana a partir de las 6 y media de la tarde le estamos invitando al pueblo para que de una vez y por todas diga presente y sepa que no nos vamos a quedar con las manos cruzadas. Ya es tiempo que se respeten los derechos de los afroamericanos y también de los hispanos. Muy buenas tardes y muchas gracias. Que Dios me los bendiga.
But the day is historically significant because it was the day that Emmett Till was disappeared and murdered, and it was the day that the actual march on Washington started. So that was important for us to have that, to be able to mark that date here in New York City and to tie it to actually real living struggles that still happen in communities of color.
It's not just for Trayvon, it's about all the youth that's been murdered and criminalized by the system. So we pray for you to come out and show that we do matter, our kids do matter. That's why we need them out here. So that's why I'm here, because my son was killed unjustified. And we want people to understand it could happen. This happened in my home. This could happen to anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. It can happen to you. That's why we need people out there to show the support that we are in the struggle together. Thank you.
212-633-6646.
And the website is?
The website is peoplespowerassemblies.org.